Goodbye Charlie is not at all what I expected, and primarily that's because I didn't have any expectations. But this film is fabulous, and obviously being madly in love with Debbie Reynolds, I was going to love her in this, but honestly, this is so much better than I was ever expecting. So there won't be any spoilers in this, but I would say that actually, if you haven't seen it, please don't go to the IMDb page. Don't even listen to what else I have to say until you've seen this, because there's something that's revealed within about the first 20 minutes or so of the film that tells you exactly what the film is going to be about. But I didn't know that when I started watching it, so I got a huge surprise when it was revealed, and that was part of the excitement. So please do not go to IMDb, do not Google this film unless you're trying to find it. It will not spoil the film, but I'd rather you had that surprise element. Okay, so from now on there will be spoilers about what happens within the first 20 minutes, but there won't be any spoilers for the rest of the film itself or how it concludes or develops. So this was released in 1964. It's directed by Vincente Minnelli and it's written by Harry Kurnitz. And as I said, it stars the fabulous Debbie Reynolds and also Tony Curtis. So the description from IMDb, which I do think spoils the setup a little bit, is as follows. Womanizing Charlie is shot by an angry husband and falls in the sea. He arrives home after his memorial as a cute amnesic woman. His old friend helps him/her. That sounds a little bit confusing. So basically, George is holding a memorial with about 4 other people there after Charlie is shot and thrown overboard for trying to have an affair with somebody's wife. And then the next morning, or even later that evening, I can't remember, this woman just shows up at the house and she's got amnesia, temporary amnesia, she doesn't know who she is. And the next morning, when she wakes up, she realizes that she is actually Charlie, reincarnated as this woman, this absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, breathtaking Debbie Reynolds woman. And obviously George doesn't believe him at first. But then the film is all about the things that Charlie is going to do in this woman's body. And it messes with the mind a bit, because Charlie, as a character, we realize very quickly at the beginning of the film that he's not necessarily the most likable person. He is a womanizer. He is an adulterer. He is not the nicest person. But, he's a very good friend of George's and they get along well. So when George finally accepts that Charlie is the woman, it takes on a very interesting dynamic, very funny as well. And I'm not going to say what happens because it will spoil it, but it's really fascinating to see Reynolds playing this man in a woman's body. One of her best performances I have ever seen. And as the film progresses, she's more feminine. Charlie takes on this feminine personality because obviously he has to try and convince people that he is a woman. But when this woman finds out or realizes that she is actually Charlie, Reynolds' performance is very macho, very masculine, and he has kind of a laddie relationship with George. And I think Reynolds is just exquisite when she takes on that personality. Her performance is absolutely brilliant. I love the development of the film. It's not the most action-packed, but it's really great to see Charlie's character unravel and, socializing and interacting with people from his past. Obviously, nobody knows that it's him inside that body. And the ending, I won't explain, but I didn't know how it was going to end. I thought, well, where's this going? What's going to happen to this woman's, the body of the woman who Charlie inhabits? What's going to happen? And when we find out what happens, first of all, fantastic and hilarious, and I absolutely loved it. And then the very ending, the climax of the film, I thought was so adorable and so really well done, and just, it was one of those endings that made me feel all fuzzy inside, and I smiled so much. This really is a beautiful film, and it has one of my favourite title sequences. I really miss films doing really creative title sequences, creative animated sequences. This is brilliant and I absolutely love it. It has a 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. I think it should be a 7, at least a 7. I'd give it a 4 out of 5, 4.5, maybe even a 5. I don't know, but it's brilliant. If you like Debbie Reynolds or Tony Curtis, you definitely have to see this. If you love films that deal with the afterlife on Earth, this will be probably one you enjoy. It doesn't ever actually go into life after death because Charlie's just kind of woken up in this body and doesn't really know anything about the in-between stage. But if you love comedy and slightly odd comedy, this is one you're going to have to watch. It's fantastic. Please watch it and let me know what you think of Goodbye Charlie.